Eating Soup Alone is a podcast hosted by me, Christopher Crumley, and co-hosted by Nicholas Johnson. We try our best to ramble incoherently about a handful of movies at least once a week. Two things. One, definitely have multiple kittens go in crypto mode in the house. But second thing is we should probably talk about Superman as a courtesy to anybody listening to this first, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about Scooby Doo as much as I love Mr. Scooby Doo.
Yeah, that's a good. I was gonna say, you know what? Fuck him. Let's talk about Scooby Doo first.
Yeah,
but I don't.
Let's be kind to him.
Let's be kind to him. Yeah.
So it's 2025. James Gunn has been given the keys to the kingdom of DC.
Yes.
We both saw for this podcast his Suicide Squad.
Yes, that's right. We did.
I loved it.
I was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because I think that these are movies that are pretty similar. First off, with the Suicide Squad thing, something that I like that is carried over into Superman is, and we probably talked about it on the last podcast, but that, like, as far as, this is what I'm calling it, the Grant Morrison thing of either it's all lame or none of it's lame.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that. The Polka Dot Man stuff, cool, all that kind of stuff in Suicide Squad. So moving into this one, I know I'm really kind of jumping right into it, but I just want to state from the top that this is a movie that, in my opinion, I just like, whatever. It feels, to me, earnest and like, I don't know. It reminds me of like something like The Last Jedi or something, where it's just like, it's clear that a nerd has been given.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like someone who cares and is not like, in my opinion, just making I feel like it's just handled with care, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I appreciate, again, this is something we talked about in this, I just want to say this from the top. We said it in the Suicide Squad review too. It's like, there's no attempt to like make it traditionally cool, air quotes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's like, what I'm trying to say is that something I want to just from the top say about James Gunn is I appreciate the confidence to let it be what it is, and the confidence to just believe that people will realize that it's cool for being what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that kind of like leads into like, this for he does that so much so that, tell me if this makes sense or not, this movie feels like Superman 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the way it starts and how it explains nothing to you.
Yeah.
And how Superman has fucking robots.
Yeah.
And you don't know why.
Yeah.
He's got the dog and you don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there should have been, like, not that there should have been, but I feel like traditionally there would have been a whole other Superman movie.
Right.
But everybody knows he came to Earth in a rocket ship and yada yada.
Yeah.
But nobody knows about the Superman robots. I know about the Superman robots, if I'm being perfectly honest. I've always hated the Superman robots.
Yeah.
But like you said, either it's all cool or none of it's cool.
Yeah.
So, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say two things. One, I should say from the top, if it wasn't clear already, I like this movie a lot. Had a lot of fun. Would love to go see it again. Even my fiance, when we finished watching it, she's not even necessarily like a superhero fan or whatever, but like, literally the first thing she said once she finished was she was like, I'll watch this again. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing, more related to what you were saying, is that's something that I've heard James Gunn say. People like throw it around, the him being like the parents in the alley, the bit by a spider. Like, we don't need to see that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of impassioned people online be like, yes, we do. Those are integral to the characters. We need to see those moments. Like, he's out of his mind for saying that. And it's like, yes, I understand what that person's saying in response to James Gunn. But I think I would clarify and just say that, like, I don't think James Gunn is saying that we need to forget those things. Just that we don't need to start the story there.
Yes.
We can show it and, like, it's known knowledge. We just don't need to start there narratively. So that's, I would agree with you. I do appreciate this film as feeling like a Superman 2 in a sense, because it's like, anybody who's approaching the Batman comic, not anybody, but let's say 7 out of 10 people approaching the Batman comic, if you're like hired to write a story, you're not necessarily going to be like, all right, he's a child. You know, like if you pick up if your mainline issue, all I'm trying to say is whatever. We know who Superman or Batman is. We know who Superman is. We know who they are. And so yeah, that is cool. That like you know, it's just starting with like, yes, you know who Superman is. We don't need to, you know. But real quick, as we move into talking about the thing, I will say at first I was like, Superman Roas, don't know if I like that. But I did like consciously be like, no, whatever. Either all of it's lame or none of it's lame. And I was like, okay, I like these guys.
Yeah.
I would say the whole movie, in my opinion, the robots are an example of this. They almost have like a animated series-ish, like Art Deco-ish, like 40s idealism, like World's Fair kind of thing to them. And that's why I like it.
Yeah.
That's why I like the robots.
Yeah. You're right. They do.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I do like the little quip where he's like, I think I'd like a name. He's like, well, Four's a name. He's like, so is Gary.
And I love that right after that, Superman calls him Gary,
Yeah.
and then in the credits his name is Gary. I'm like,
That's really
that's
sweet,
really
actually.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yes, like I said, I can get over the robots. Not get over the robots, but I can get used to the robots, and I can get used to all the Kryptonian technology and all the silly stuff.
Yeah.
But for the love of God, people, stop showing me Superman blowing on shit. It looks so dumb every time he does it, and I hate it.
I like blowing.
But my top level thoughts of this movie?
Yeah, let's start top level. Like, did you like it? And if you didn't, what didn't you like? So you
know,
first.
I'm a huge Superman slut.
Yeah, for sure.
He's my favorite guy.
Yeah.
I like him arguably too much. I love David Corenswet as Superman. I love Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I love Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. I love that guy from The Quarry as Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
I like everybody in this movie. I think, you know, the ancillary superheroes that are in this are also good. They're fun. I like the dog. I like the robots. I don't love this movie.
Yeah.
I've seen it 3 times because I'm like, I have to be missing something.
Yeah.
I thought at first I went in and I was just like, my expectations are way too high for this.
Yeah.
So I'll go see it again with reset expectations. I saw it again, liked it more.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then I saw it yesterday again with our friend Elton because I was like, I'm just going to take notes during it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think maybe I've consumed just too much Superman media. And I've seen too many James Gunn superhero movies.
Yeah.
So nothing that happened in this movie surprised me or felt new to me or was like, I don't know, I feel like in every James Gunn movie I've seen, there's a part where like it's got that movie magic where it just fills you with hope for a second. Like remember the ending of the one, he may be your father but he's not your daddy, and then he dies, and then they have the funeral with all the fireworks, and you cry every single time. It's just like, that's great. And in a Superman movie where they talk about his adoptive parents being his real parents and who he should be, yada yada, none of that hit for me, and I don't know why. But also,
I mean, I would say one misstep for me, real quick on that note, is, and we can talk about it more, but the parents are nothing characters.
Yes,
they're very cardboard. That's probably the one biggest criticism I'd have of it, is just that I don't. Like, not that I dislike them, I just, nothing Ma and Pa Kent in this.
Yes, exactly.
They couldn't be more like, I mean, like, I don't know them. I know nothing about them. They just show up and they just go, how you doing? Which is, like, fine. But that doesn't tell me anything really too much about them. Like, it's not like Ma Kent likes to collect porcelain geese or something. You don't have to get that specific, but just something so that I know. Like, tell me, who's Pa Kent? What does he do?
He's a farmer.
What's his job?
Farm. Old man stuff, you know? Remember sitting on the rocking chair and just doing something with something? I think the movie does a good job of, I mean, just...
And also, come on, those two, I'm not trying to be judgmental.
Dumb as hell.
They vote for Trump, right?
Oh, no.
There's no fucking way in hell.
Not the Kents.
No, I'm saying those two.
No, I refuse. Not the Kents.
But you know what I'm saying.
In real life, yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
I'm going to say in this real life, they are the two farmers in their community who are Democrats. And
the only two in America.
They prefer not to talk about. They're the ones that go, I don't like talking politics when they go down to the local market or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think, like, production-wise, like, their farm and their house looks really good. I love their TV, like the very specific model of TV they have that's like a Gen 1 flat screen TV, like where the borders are still really thick. It's probably only doing 720. And it's like, they would never get a new TV.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that where it's like you kind of know who they are. And I love the conversation he has with his dad, where his dad just kind of starts it with like, remember the burrito place that used to be down by there? Yeah, Mom and I went there with so-and-so and so-and-so. Burritos are still good. Just nothing garbage. No offense to parents out there. Just nothing garbage that your parents will just tell you about before they want tell you about the serious thing they want to tell you about. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm sure, much like The Batman, after a certain amount of time, it'll probably grow on me, and I'll probably like it. But yeah, just initially, I think this movie is good. I don't think it's bad. It's the best Superman movie I've ever seen. There's a lot I like about it that I would like to talk about, and there's some stuff that bugs me that I would also like to talk about. But all in all, it's good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Wrapping up my high level, slightly different experience. I did get pretty teary-eyed and was enchanted by this and charmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say, moments enchanted me, moments charmed me, but I think overall as a package, I've seen too much Superman stuff that has charmed and enchanted me. So.
Yeah. Still am a sucker for, like, just the way my heart swells with the 1978 Superman.
Yeah.
I would still, like, I understand how the argument could be made that, like, that it's not as good as this, what we just watched. Mm-hmm. But I would still consider it, like, an untouchable classic. It's just, like one of those things like Wizard of Oz or something like that, where it's
exactly,
like,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, of course a movie in 2025 is going to be, like, a more, you know, whatever you want to call it, like, entertaining and engaging and, like,
polished,
you know,
like,
and yeah, of course. But, like, I just feel like it's such an untouchable, like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's not without criticism, but, like, so is, like, again, this is a movie I've watched, like, twice on acid. Go back and watch Star Wars. So much of it is just, like, you're like, oh, this actually kind of looks more like Logan's Run than, like, anything modern you've seen from Star Wars. Like, there's a lot more, you know, there is a bunch of stuff that you watch and you're like, oh, that's timeless, but then there's a bunch of other stuff where you're like, it looks like you opened up the fucking, like, circuit board of a damn, like, vacuum and just, like, duct taped it to a wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't look like... So anyways, all I'm trying to say is that, like, yes, I understand the flaws of Superman, but it's still 1978 or whatever, but it's still has, like, a, you know, a timeless charm to it that I, you know, whatever. We're not talking about that movie. So we start off with the 3 years ago, 3 centuries ago, 3 seconds ago, whatever.
I really like that. I think
yeah.
Pretty solid way to start this movie.
Yeah.
Go on.
I would say another criticism I've seen online that pisses me off is people complaining about how much Superman gets his ass kicked in this film.
I think that's fine.
I think that's great, even.
Yeah.
I just, again, generally, I love that. I mean, because if he can just handle everything, then, like, what are we watching the movie for?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's just, you know, growing up, I don't know, maybe it's just instilled in my DNA because of Dragon Ball Z. So much of Dragon Ball Z is Goku getting his fucking ass kicked, and then he's finally strong enough to overcome the shit. You know, same thing with Batman. I just think back to, like, as a kid, how obsessed I was with, like, the visuals of, like, Batman. Like, oh shit, his fucking Ra's al Ghul ripped his fucking shirt off. He's got fucking scratches across his chest. He's bleeding. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, all I'm trying to say is that, like, even as a baby boy, I understood that, like, you know what I mean? Like, just narratively, like, the ass, getting your ass kicked is an important part because you're establishing the stakes. You're establishing the threat, right? Like, it's...
Yes.
It's important, and so I appreciate him getting his ass kicked. And, you know, something else that I've seen James Gunn say online is that, like, I didn't want my Superman so powerful that it didn't make sense that a guy with a bow and arrow exists in this.
Yeah.
You know, universe.
I will say, a Superman that I love, like because there's a million different ways you can tell a Superman story or do things with Superman. When Superman's, like, all powerful, I love the whole point being, like, yeah, he's all powerful and he can do whatever he wants and he always does the right thing, but what is the right thing? Like, that's where the struggle usually comes from. Like, I've been hearing people talk about it a lot in relation to this movie, especially, like, with the crypto stuff. But there's a Superman book that I've been meaning to read. I think it's called Up in the Sky, where a girl is playing with her friend and gets abducted by aliens. And on the news, they talk about, you know, her and her friend were out there. They were playing with, like, a Superman toy or whatever. And her friend's like, oh, I'm not worried. She knows Superman's going to come and save her. And we know Superman's going to come and save her. And Superman's like, oh, fuck, there's a lot going on. I don't know if I can leave to save one girl.
Yeah.
And it's just the whole book is him struggling with that of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. A lot of people are like, oh no, you have to stay here and protect everybody else. And like, he like talks to Batman, and Batman's just like, you're the only person that can go do that. You should go do that. And like, I like that quite a bit. Or, it's a weird thing with his parents in this that I don't love. But him being like, oh, he does what he does because of the message that his Kryptonian parents sent with him. Mm-hmm. I much prefer him doing what he does with his powers because of Mom and Pa Kent. And they raised him right, which I think he realizes at the end that's the real reason why he does it. But I love Superman Smashes the Klan. It's a Superman book where he's got 1940s Superman powers, where he's strong and he can jump far.
Yeah. And that's how I would describe this film in a sense, is like, he's probably closer to that end of the spectrum, where it's like, yeah, he's a Superman, but he's not an unkillable god among men who could kill you with the frickin' flick of a finger, you know.
And that book runs parallel with his story of what he's got going on, and a Chinese family that moves to Metropolis in the 1940s and have to deal with the Klan and stuff like that, and them like trying to assimilate with their new neighbors and stuff like that, and you know, her brother's like making very racist Chinese jokes with all the white kids, like, hey, I'm just trying to blend in and yada yada. And then as the book goes on, that girl realizes that also Superman's kind of hiding his powers because he's afraid, because he's nervous that he's an alien and doesn't want people to know that he's an alien. And by the end of it, you know, he's got the laser eyes and he can fly and stuff like that. Stuff like that, which I feel like you lose a little bit in this with his parents being that the way they are. But also, like I said, there's a million different ways to do Superman, and it doesn't have to be exactly what I want.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, on a side note, that's another bit of discourse that I saw online that I agree with, which is just that, like, hey, Man of Steel, not for me, not a fan. Mm-hmm. But you can't really use the argument of, like, that's not how he is in the comics, because this is a character that's existed for 100 years. There is a precedent for every single version of Superman that you could ever possibly think of. Yeah. Like, it all exists somewhere. It's all drawing on something.
How do you feel about Bradley Cooper?
Nothing Bradley Cooper. When you say the name Bradley Cooper, the first thing I think of is like that picture of him in like Italy reading his like 18 or 19-year-old girlfriend Lolita in a park.
This is news to me.
Yeah,
that's very.
Isn't that fucking funny?
Yeah,
it's really fucking funny when you're in your 40s.
I meant more so. How did you feel about Bradley Cooper in this?
Bradley Cooper in this?
Yeah.
The man from The Hangover?
Yes, he's
Maestro.
He's Jor-El. He's his dad.
Holy shit! I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was very distracting to me.
Really?
Because every time he pops up, I'm like, that's Bradley Cooper and the woman from Westworld.
Well, look at me. None the wiser. Bradley Cooper, sorry, buddy.
I'm glad that worked for you. But also I like it because there's no way Bradley Cooper's coming back for a Superman 2.
Some people say this is just Invincible because of the harem thing.
Invincible's just Superman, so...
Oh, there you go. Fuck you.
Yeah,
if you like Invincible, fuck you.
I love Invincible.
I know you do. So I'm saying, but not you.
But no, I love that because Bradley Cooper ain't coming back. Because he's in this, he doesn't speak a lick of English in it.
Yeah.
And he's in it for 90 seconds. Yeah. So there's no way he's coming back for Superman 2.
Couple of things.
There's no way we're getting his Kryptonian parents back in any of these other movies.
This thing's a damn turkey. And this is Thanksgiving. I'm about to start cutting up. So first of all, I must say that I love, and we'll get to it more maybe, or maybe this is all we say, I am into the Lex Luthor story here. To me personally, I'm into this as much as like watching Mask of the Phantasm and being like, oh yeah, I'm liking all these shady backdoor gangster deals, like, you know, Gotham feels alive with just freaking noir gangster film, just garbage. Feed it to me, baby. I'm a little raccoon. I like that Lex Luthor has this like complicated thing where like he's like manufacturing a supervillain for Superman to fight so they can leverage freaking Jarapur, international freaking, you know, intrigue and conflict and stuff to try to leverage the American government to let him kill Superman, but also he's feeding, Luthor Corp, like freaking guns and stuff to, foreign body and working out a shady backdoor deal to take over half of the country when it becomes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got like all that stuff. Cool. You know, a lot of people have been very like cynical and being like, why don't you just do the Invincible thing where you have him fight dress up like Superman and do bad stuff, or whatever. And it's like, well, then that's a less boring movie. That's interesting.
It's a very boring. Yes.
Plus, also, what happened? Like Superman. I guess we could take him to send him to the Shadow Dimension, and I don't know. I just feel like that'd be like such a less interesting film if that's what was happening while he was in the jail.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, anyways, I just wanted to take a moment to say it's Lex Luthor's whole thing. I'm into it. Generally, I think Nick Holt. That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Holt.
Steve Holt.
He does a great job. I was hesitant going in because I was like, come on, man. Why do we got to keep doing like the frickin' Social Network Jesse Eisenberg billionaire? Like, let's get a thick, bald man in there.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. I think he did a good job. I'm into him being petty and literally just, just his, like, to the bone, unending jealousy of, like, Superman. That thing of, like, just that he's just such a narcissist, like, to not understand that, like, people love Superman because he does the right thing. He's a good guy. He's kind to people. Like, I love that the message of this movie... like what means the most to me here is that Superman's whole thing is like Lois says it to him, where she's like, you just believe everybody's good and you think everybody's beautiful.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what Superman should be.
Yes.
And we should all do that.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I like about this movie. That's my favorite thing about Superman in general.
Lex Luthor is just like, but I'm fucking smarter, and like I know guys like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That like just like no character in terms of like actual moral fiber, just people who are just generally selfish, take advantage of people, are mean to people, and then at the end of the day, just because they're smart, they think like, well, I'm a good person. And it's like, no. There's like you're skipping over kindness, empathy, helping other people, like all that kind of stuff. But I just think people confuse intelligence for value a lot. And,
absolutely.
So I know real life Lex Luthor's in that sense, in terms of like their personality traits,
Yes.
And flip side of that, really quick, Superman. I love how much time is just devoted to Superman just saving a person or a squirrel, whatever it is. I know that, that's one of the bigger things that we've fought about a little bit on, like, the Spider-Man, like, him wanting to, like, save, like, other timelines and stuff like that. So it's the right amount of one life matters on the spectrum of, like, you were talking about the go save a girl who got abducted by aliens versus, like, leave the planet susceptible to all kinds of dangers. It is an argument. Like, it pushes back and forth depending on the story, but I do like this depiction of Superman as someone who just wants to save people, period, full stop, end of sentence. And so it's really cool. Like, I know I'm rambling and going on forever, but having just watched Superman 2, like, that was something that really stood out to me about the OG Superman, was like, wow, it's so cool to just see Superman save people. He's not just, like, in Marvel so often, like, in my opinion, like something that they got too far away from, and we've talked about it in every Marvel movie we've ever talked about in this podcast, is like, hey, what's up with just like, it's always just going to be an intergalactic threat that like they're, so they end up being more of this like planetary defender rather than like a everyday down in the like. So I really liked watching like Superman just like save a woman, save a child. Like it's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
And it drives. Cool. I like that it drives the movie forward later when they have Crypto and. What is the DOJ has a warrant out for his arrest?
Yeah.
He says he's going to go turn himself in, and Lois is like, why? And he's like, well, they might take me to where they took the dog. And she's like, it's a dog. I think he says, he's not even a very good dog. But he's out there, and he's alone, and he's probably scared.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's so Superman. I love that so much.
Yeah. So I would like you to start going through some of your notes, and I'll just jump off of what I've got going, because I've been a little too bag of air, I feel like. So take the reins for a moment.
For sure.
Okay, I lied. Last thing.
Yeah, give it to me.
The Kryptonian parents. I personally would say that, yes, I like this. I know you mentioned, I'm just not super familiar with the source material, so I don't know how often it happens like this, but I do emphatically like the Kryptonians having like ulterior motives in him. It's with that message of the go take a harem, raise supermen, and take over this world and rule over them with an iron fist, Superman becomes the Iron Giant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I love that later.
Yeah.
What his dad basically tells him is that you are who you choose to be.
Yeah. So I think that's badass, and I do love that. What you were saying a moment ago, and I know it's probably been said in a million comics, but that it is the fact that he was raised by like two good meat and potatoes like Kansas folk that just instilled in him the value of right and wrong and caring for another person. That's great. Love that. Like I said, my one criticism of this film is that like Mom Pa Kent just could have been like a little more tangible.
Yes,
like they're not in the movie almost. But go ahead.
You know something I was thinking about that bothers me about the whole message from his space parents getting translated, and they say like 1,000 times they're like, oh yeah, this was translated by like the top of the line translators in the world.
Yeah,
it is real. Okay, but so much stuff always gets lost in translation. Nobody here speaks Kryptonian. If I had an English to Chinese dictionary and I translated something into Chinese, I'd be missing a lot of stuff unless I talked to a Chinese person and was like a Kryptonian would be like, oh no, in this context that doesn't mean conquer or like. I feel like that's a conversation you'd have to have, but also it's a Superman movie. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I hear you.
So I love at the beginning he's fighting the Hammer of Baravia, who's just Ultraman in that suit. I love when they slam him into the ground and the citizens come over and they help him and they pick him up off the ground. The guy's like, I sold you a falafel that one time. I love when there's a nearby guy, when they see the hammer fly off, he says, maybe you shouldn't have done that stuff in Jarin, poor Superman. Like, not like, Superman, this is all you for. Like, he speaks, like, everybody speaks to him like he's their friend. Yeah. You're like, I don't know, Superman, maybe you did something wrong. It's like, I like that quite a bit. It's, like we were saying, we didn't need to see Superman 1 to get all this context. We just know everybody loves Superman. Yeah. Also, we don't have to get too deep into it. How do you feel about this movie being about Israel and Palestine? Pretty wild, right?
Sure.
I went and saw this in front of the show Elton, and when it started, he was like, I don't know. Oh, yeah, this movie's about Israel and Palestine. Anytime it came out, Elton's like, oh. I'll just try to speed through this. Big points.
Lois Lane, great reporter. I love how clever she is.
Love her, yes.
Great detective.
I love
good shot left and right.
I love the taking the scene from the Superman the movie where she interviews him on the rooftop and flipping it where they're already dating. She's interviewing him, but she's a real reporter. She's not writing like a fluff piece about like, what's your favorite color and stuff like that. I love that she's like actually hammering it home.
And they're having the philosophical debate, the morality debate.
I saw somewhere online earlier today, I think on Twitter, where James Gunn was just like, oh yeah, I think the scariest part about making this movie was the decision to put a 12-minute scene of dialogue in the beginning of the movie. I was like, I didn't realize that was 12 minutes long, but I thought it was really good.
No, it was enthralling, and I think that, that's the problem. I don't mean like problem as in like the flaw. I mean like that is like a fundamental problem of the Superman character is like, yes, he always chooses good, but he should not be unquestioned. And so I like that.
Yes,
they still, even though he, whatever, but I like him, still having to defend and having his feet held to the fire in a sense, right? Like it's the idea that like it's still a healthy dose of like questioning authority that needs to come with even when the authority is good, air quotes,
Yeah, and I like him having to like over and over again like kind of bring up like, well, they were going to kill people. They were until he gets to the point where at the end where he just has to scream, people are going to die. Yeah, and it's like, that should be. You're right. We should question Superman and his authority always, all the time, but also at the same time, it's just like, oh yeah, no, Superman's right. People are going to die, and he stopped people from dying. Also, I love that Superman does not swear in this movie. I love the beginning when he falls off that table and he says "golly." I love when he says "what the hey, dude." Yeah. I love when he's fighting that big monster and he goes, "Oh, good gosh." But my favorite is in this when Lois is like, well, yes, the leader of the Baravian government said this, and instead of going, oh, that's bullshit. Superman goes, yes, but you and I know both that's very silly.
That's good. Yeah, very good.
So all that's great. I love the two of them. They have wicked chemistry. They're both really good in this.
Yeah.
They kind of like dry hump each other when they're making out on the
Love
counter,
it.
and I was like, that's
I
too much.
did not notice that.
That's
That's
true.
the kind of shit you notice when you watch it 3 times.
Yeah, I guarantee you James Gunn didn't go and like dry hump a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, these two are cheating on their spouses, probably.
What's that guy's name? I think I'm pulling this out of my ass, but the guy who directed the 5th Friday the 13th, Danny Steinman, who famously
Yes.
fucker. But anyways, we'll also take a moment to say love the Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl.
Yes.
The Justice Gang thing was cool. The League of Justice, forever, the Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
Super cool exterior. Yeah, love that they're all hanging out. I like the Green Lantern in this.
Yes, Nathan Fillion. Shout out to him. He's great.
Mr. Terrific is awesome also.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was the surprise of this movie to me. Was that
Yeah.
I know of Mr. Terrific, but I just
Yeah.
know him from Justice League cartoons where he's just at the tower doing stuff on the computer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never seen Mr. Terrific actually do anything, so
Yeah.
that's pretty sick. I love that Hawk Girl goes every
Yeah.
time she flies. And I love Nathan Fillion as the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
My favorite quote from him that I wrote down is when they're arguing in the Hall of Justice. He goes, I'm going to make a giant hammer and beating you to death.
Yeah, I did like a lot of like when they're fighting the kaiju and he's like, did you see I put oven mitts on that guy? It's good. It's good. One scene I fucking love is when Lois and Superman have their like weird like middle ground, no forward or backward kind of like conversation in his apartment at night while outside
Yes.
the Justice Gang is fighting the interdimensional fucking being. That was good.
Yes, and I love that. Yeah, it's just basically there to light the scene.
Yeah.
But also, I love in the background you can see just
The bat,
Green
just
Lantern, the
bomb,
big bat.
bomb,
Yeah,
bomb, bomb,
so good.
bomb. Yeah.
They fight that big monster because
You don't want him smashing up a city.
they don't want to smash up a city, but Lex Luthor put it there because he goes to the.
He needs a distraction. He needs to
Yes.
distract Superman. So he lets loose a little baby kaiju that becomes a big boy kaiju.
My least favorite person in this movie
Yeah.
is the robot nanotech woman.
Yeah.
She is French?
In real life?
No, in this movie.
Oh, okay.
She says merde, which is shit in French, yeah?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if this woman in real life has this French accent,
Yeah.
but I feel like it was put on, and my biggest problem with her is that she says too many words per sentence. Like, it feels like it is insane that nobody noticed this here in the Antarctic. Like, just stuff like that, where
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's one too many. And also, I just hate the nanotech thing in any movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just so sick of it. Which brings me to another point, something that I love about this movie. I noticed it at first when they're in the Pentagon and he's showing them that slideshow of, like, all the cool guys that he's got. I love that it's, like, a 4x3 frame on a projector.
Yeah.
And it's not some, like, high-tech shit that doesn't exist. Same with his like little command center where he's like doing 1A, 45B, that kind of stuff. It's all just computers.
Yeah.
It's none of that like future bullshit see-through computers and no one's like doing any AR stuff in the air. Yeah. Great. Just love it. Just love that shit's going away.
Yeah. So eventually Luthor does get jurisdiction to at least bring Superman in for like questioning.
Yes.
He ends up imprisoning him in the pocket dimension.
Yes.
I like the pocket dimension.
I don't.
Okay.
Aesthetically, I hate the pocket dimension. I think it looks really bad, but besides
Sure.
that, I like the idea of it. Yeah.
But I like the idea of like Luthor doing that.
Oh yeah,
I like
it's great.
Mr. Terrific talking about how like it's a generally like he says it's the kind of dangerous and not well thought through like science that Luthor basically excels in. I like that. I like the acknowledgement from Mr. Terrific that like Luthor's a fucking genius. He's doing incredible, unbelievable shit, but he's just not someone who takes the time to wonder like, and it's so realistic of like billionaires and like their narcissism and how self-centric they are. I mean, OceanGate.
Yeah. Never take a second to think about, what if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
Because that's not possible.
However long, yeah.
I'm rich, so why would I ever be wrong about
however long, the entire like marine community was just like, hey, whatever it is, like, carbon fiber, whatever the fuck he was using is just not gonna work. And he was like, yeah, well, lick my balls, dummy, I got $1 billion. But also, it's tragic anytime someone dies, I suppose, so sorry that him and those people died in that thing or whatever, but also,
Yeah.
I like his name is Metamorpho, I'm told by Wikipedia. They call him the Element Man. I like that more.
Noho Hank.
Yeah, Noho Hank. Yeah, it's fucking sweet.
I think way underutilized.
Oh, do I hope he's in every single DC movie moving forward.
Oh yeah, I love him. I hope he's in every movie I ever see moving forward.
Perfect casting. I like this guy to begin with, but 2, never really gave a fuck about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd never really, but the concept's great. The Element Man, he can make things as long as it's an element. I love it. It's a super interesting character with a super interesting actor. Perfect.
Yeah, and I love the kind of James Gunn stuff, and it's either all silly or none of it silly. Yeah. I love the idea of, like, that could have been just a guy with a case of kryptonite, but to be like, no, let's work Metamorpho into the mix. I love it. It's awesome.
Super cool character. Super cool that he can just make kryptonite. He can just make basically like a little baby son. I genuinely hope that he's a part of the Justice League moving forward. If the Justice League get their own movie, it's great. Love it. He's got his little baby Joey that Superman basically. I like that, like, you know, basically the Element Man watches Superman in action and is, like, convinced, like, oh, yeah, this is a good guy. This is, you know, and trusts him and helps him break out. But, yeah, I love that just Lex Luthor has this pocket dimension where he just sends anybody he's got, like, grievances with. It's very, like, Trump-coded, like how Trump's just, like, suing anybody who's just like, hey, Trump did a terrible thing. And he's like, no, I didn't. $1 billion, please. And the U.S. government, the court system is just like, yep, you owe him $1 billion now. Whatever. But,
and then Stephen Colbert says, that's not right, and they cancel the show.
Yeah, exactly. Murders. Oh, yeah, goddamn, when he just shoots that guy in the head right in front of him. Pretty dark for a big mainline DC film.
There's a couple moments in this movie where I was just like, it's that, and later when he's pulling the things out of his mouth.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, and I'm struggling to remember offhand, but there have been a couple of things recently that I've watched that are more like family friendly rather than like PG or like for kids, and I was just taken aback by, like, oh wow, like that's surprisingly dark for, like, you know, Superman in a sense is like, it's, you know what I'm saying. So I just appreciate that there is certain stuff in there that's a little more heavy, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because think about, like, in the original Spider-Mans when I saw him as a kid, a lot of that Green Goblin stuff scared me. When I'd watch it on DVD, I'd fast forward through it and stuff. Yeah. When Lois and Mr. Terrific leave and they do the garage door bit, I hate that.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
because it's like a James Gunn thing I don't like. He uses a lot of stylistic restraint in this movie.
For
like,
sure.
You don't get a lot of needle drops or anything like this, except for this one, and it really stood out to me where I was like, this is like the kind of James Gunn humor where I'm like, pull it back, buddy. This is a joke we've all seen 1,000 times.
Oh yeah. I've seen it a million times. It's the Family Guy joke.
Yes, exactly.
It's just something going on for comedically too long. Yeah. Not that it's inherently unfunny. It's just, you're right, it has been pervasive in the, I would agree.
Well, also, I don't know where else I'm going to bring this up, so I'm going to bring it up now. When they attack the Fortress of Solitude, and Nanotech Lady is in there, she does a thing where robots are coming from behind her, and so she does a backflip, lands on her head, out of her butt. And then she, like, rearranges all the things so that she's just standing normal. Why? Just turn around.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anything else on your list? Because I'm nearing the end. I just want to wrap it up in a sense. Because I can.
For sure.
So your turn now.
Few more things. I think that I like that the most evil thing you see Lex Luthor do, and every time I've seen it, it makes people gasp in the theater, is when he throws a pencil at his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, her name is Miss Tessmacher, from the original movie. That's a lot of fun.
I also, she reminded me, like, having just watched the Superman 2 of, like, for sure. Yeah. And the Jimmy Olsen thing is pretty funny, how much she's obsessed with Jimmy Olsen. Her disguising the sensitive information leaks as just selfies was pretty clever. Yep. I do like that.
I like when they're talking in the alleyway, and she's like, he tortured a dog the other day. And he goes, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, that's good. Lex Luthor also, another criticism I've seen online is, like, people being like, Superman doesn't save Lois Lane once, all the men in this movie fucking cry, and Superman gets his ass kicked all the time, the whole movie. And it's like, all three of those things are not negatives to me. I'm fine with all of that. I'm glad that all of the men cry in this. There's nothing wrong with a man fucking crying. Grow up.
I love when he tells Lois that he loves her and then runs away immediately. Doesn't give her a chance to say that she does or doesn't.
Very autism cousin.
Love it.
I said you look shitty, Lois. Good night.
Okay, so he's at his parents' house. His dad says Iron Giant stuff.
Yeah.
Great, love it. Boravia starts invading Jaranpur again because they think Superman's out of the picture. And there's those kids raising that Superman flag, and they all start chanting Superman. One, the adults hear them and start doing a different Superman chant that's a different rhythm and just overtake them. I think that's very rude. Two,
children should be neither heard nor seen.
Why are the kids there? Leave them at home. I know that Boravia is invading at the border.
Yeah.
Leave the kids at home.
Yeah. I hear you.
It's a great moment when the Green Lantern shows up and goes, "Sorry, kid, you got an upgrade." It's great. It works perfectly for the movie. But all I can think of the entire time is like, why would you bring your kids to this?
Very NoHo Hank coded scene at the very end where like Green Lantern's like, "Sorry, you can't join the Justice Gang," or whatever, and then NoHo Hank is like, "The Justice Gang? That is such a cool name." And then him being like, "All right, you're in." Like that was good. I like that.
At the Daily Planet, I saw in the background like a news station. You see Jake Tapper, and I think you see him or Anderson Cooper or Wolf Blitzer in every single superhero movie, just on the news as themselves. You think they get paid a lot for that?
I could see it being like a fuck yeah, I want to be in a Superman movie thing.
Yeah, but once you're in like 6, you know, I feel like after a while, like you have to start paying me to be in Superman movies. When they get into the T-Mobile, which is called something different because on paper it would look like T-Mobile. At the Daily Planet, like they get all their stuff together and go into the rocket ship to go somewhere.
Wherever.
I don't know. I don't know if you remember where they're going in that little ship. But there's the cast of characters you know at the Daily Planet. There's Jimmy.
The guy with the mustache. The dumb lady.
Lois. And the dumb lady.
Yeah. And the chief. Yeah.
There's that bit.
Why do I have to sit on the ground?
There's that bit, exactly. Yeah. Because the T-Craft has 5 seats in it.
Yeah.
So you need 6 people to make that joke work.
Yeah.
When they get everybody, they call a random guy.
I know, like,
and there's one man who has no name and says nothing in this movie who's just there just so that joke can work, and I love that.
That's good, yeah.
Very funny when Mr. T is like, "Why'd you bring the dog?" And he's like, "I didn't want him to kill my parents' cows." That got a good chuckle out of me.
Yeah.
The best part of the movie, obviously, is when he saves that lady on the bridge and the building collapses and there's all that smoke and he just comes up through it.
Yeah.
I got nothing bad to say about this movie anymore. Perfect. 10 out of 10.
Also, James Gunn is, from what I heard, suing Trump for the Superman edit that they tweeted.
No, that's fun. I love that.
Yeah, he like tweeted a picture of his face.
I saw that. Yeah.
And so apparently James Gunn is suing him for that.
Good on him. Love that.
Hope he wins.
Meyer.
And I hope Trump dies.
Yes. I mean, I wouldn't say that because he's the president of the United States. That's not a thing that they like you saying. Meyer.
The store?
Yeah. Is that a Michigan thing?
The Great Lakes region, kind of. Like, it also teeters into Ohio and Illinois a little bit, I believe, and even down into Indiana some, but it's really mostly a Michigan thing. Like, Frederick Meyer, they're like really from, that family's from like the Grand Rapids area. Mm-hmm. They have the Frederick Meyer Gardens and stuff, and yeah.
When Superman's fighting them in the baseball stadium,
yeah,
there's a Meyer sign in there.
Oh.
And that really confused me.
Yeah.
But you know what also really grinds my gears about that, Chris? Listen, it's the summer of Superman. I've been soaking it up. I've been buying as much Superman merch as I can and all the toys and stuff like that. Meyer is the only place that has no Superman anything. And they're the only store that has product placement in this movie. I don't know if it's actually product placement or just happened to be at the baseball stadium.
Yeah.
But I'm angry about it.
Well, here's something I want to talk about really quick. So the right-wing people and Elon Musk and stuff like that, they all legalized comedy again, right?
Thankfully, yeah.
Yeah. So then what the fuck with the damn Colbert thing? You know what I'm saying? That's not very legalized comedy of you.
What it is that Paramount is trying to sell itself to another company.
Skybox or whatever, Skydance or
And
whatever.
it has
the fuck.
to be approved by the FCC, which has
Yeah.
to be approved by Trump.
Yeah.
So,
But that's not very legalized comedy of you guys.
because it's a lie, Chris.
I know.
They don't mean it.
I know. In my America, comedy's legal again, okay? And the Trump thing I said earlier was a joke. Ha ha! Ha ha!
You see the whitest kid you know sketch about how you're not allowed to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I was right about Ultraman. He's Bizarro. Just make him Bizarro. I don't know why he's not Bizarro in this. He'll probably come back as
That's
Bizarro.
what I was hoping, yeah. Like, that this is like an origin in a sense of how that happens. But, yeah, I would agree with you. Like, that's something that me personally, I don't really like in media where it's like, you're just doing a watered-down version of another character. Like, just make it the character.
This is two cardinal sins of comic book movies in one, where you take a character that is a character, but it's not really him.
Kind of like Deadpool and the Wolverine movie thing that happened, where like he had no mouth. His mouth was
exactly.
So, it's like, why even do it at that point then? Just have it be someone else. Like, but also don't just have it be Deadpool. What are you doing? Like,
yes,
you're doing two bad things.
And then the other cardinal sin that is like, oh, the last fight is our superhero versus another person who has the exact same powers as them.
Yeah,
it's kind of boring, but whatever. Superman whistles for the dog.
He has a name. Okay.
For Crypto, I think it's very funny. I would think Lex Luthor would have a code for putting his finger in his mouth to get him to stop whistling. I think that'd be funny. I like that the way they stop him is by Crypto eating the drones, because apparently he only has 6 of them. He can't send any more.
Yeah.
I love that Lex Luthor calls him a piece of shit. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Crypto coming and attacking him at the end is just the Hulk with Loki at the end of the Avengers. Again, like the garage door, it's something I've seen a million times, so it left a bad taste in my mouth. The most unbelievable part of this movie is when the news goes, "Ooh, we were wrong. We owe Superman an apology."
News would never do that.
Yeah. Things are wrapping up here. One of my last notes that I wrote down. Chris, have you ever thought about shaving your head bald?
No, I don't want to ever do that.
No?
Even if I'm balding, or I have, like, I still would like to just do, like, a really close buzz, but I don't ever want to go, like, shiny, smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, personally. It's just, like, it...
I think you should.
Me?
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah? One time?
Yeah.
I'll do it one time.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah.
For me, thank you.
Fucking A, dude. Oh, it's just like a texture thing almost, like where I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
But I have shaved my chest for the same reason, where it's like I have all this real estate that I'd like to touch, but I can't because it's got a coat on it.
Because I feel like I can never do that because I have like a weird shaped head. Like I feel like I got 2 big bumps.
What if we did it at the same time? You know what you would do? You would look like a skinny Anthony Fantano.
I would. I can't though because I am 30, so I'm losing my hair. And from what I've heard from other friends of mine who have lost their hair, I have a friend who is completely bald, like shaves his head.
Which one?
Matt Frey.
Okay.
And he's like, do not shave your head. He's like, because none of it will grow back. Because that's what happened to him.
Damn.
I'm like, okay, well,
do you still do finasteride?
I absolutely do. It works like a charm. I highly recommend it to everybody.
Do you think that would counteract the shave off? Or no?
I have no idea. I don't want to test it.
Okay.
And then I think that's about it. He's on that little bed, and they play that punk rocker "Yes I Am" by Iggy Pop.
Is that who it's by?
It's him. It's somebody featuring him.
It's a cool song.
It's fun.
I like that song. Really. Dead ass.
Last few things to wrap it up here that I didn't get a chance to say. He does a cannonball on that big monster. That was very funny. I think the John Williams score is way better than the version that they put in this movie with the guitars and stuff like that. Because, like, this one, like, leads up like a Hans Zimmer song, like a woo, and then the ba, 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 it comes in. I love that.
Teddy Bears featuring Iggy Pop?
Yes. I love that the John Williams one just starts with the ding, 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 ding. It's great.
Ding, ding.
Also, were you the person who told me about the Batman theme? The bum, 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 bum.
Oh, it being like a dirge or whatever, like a funeral dirge.
Yes, and it's been around for forever.
Yeah.
I've noticed it's one of those things like where you hear a word for the first time, you hear everybody say it for the next few months. That's how that went for me, is I hear that everywhere, and they use it in this movie. Mm-hmm. And I noticed it a few times. I'm like, that's pretty sick. Yeah. I like that a lot. So, all in all, what would you give Superman?
I think I'm gonna give it about a somewhere between a B plus and an A, so I feel like I might split the difference at A minus.
I'm gonna give it a B minus.
B minus?
Yes.
Let me write these down. I always forget to write these down. Oh, yeah. Superman. I went A minus. You went B minus. But yeah, it's one of those things where by the end of it, I was like, dude, you know, I've talked about this on the show. Last episode, I talked about it. This episode, I talked about it. I'm sure in the next episode, I'll talk about it. But my love of horror, my love of things like, you know, Gothic and Southern Gothic and stuff like that, and my attraction to things as a child, like, you know, Batman the Animated Series or the Scooby Doo, Where Are You? And how those kinds of things laid the foundational, like, love of horror into me because of the aesthetic and the tone and stuff like that. And so growing up, I always turned my attention mostly to Batman. Occasionally Superman would catch my eye. I mean, they did the Superman the Animated Series, and I liked that and stuff, but I was always drawn more to Batman. And I think mainly because of those elements of it where, like, you know, so many of the villains that he fights are primarily like horror monsters, you know, and it just has that aesthetic. But by the end of it, I was like, dude, Superman is my guy, like fundamentally, not to toot my horn or whatever, but like, I don't mean this as like I'm not just trying to say this as like a self, you know, like that kind of thing. But what attracts me to that character is that like, I believe in those things. I believe in like, and it's how I try to carry myself into my life. And it had me thinking a lot about being attracted to characters like Goku and like Superman growing up and stuff like that, and how like informative that was for me and my moral compass and stuff like that. And because I do try to be kind to everybody that I you know, and I generally do think usually the best in people and stuff like that. And you know, there are plenty of Lex Luthor types in my life that beat down on me for like, you know, like, how are you just gonna treat those people like human beings? And it's like, because everybody's having a hard enough time already. Like, I can just be nice to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to like pummel fuck everybody constantly because like I'm smarter, and you're bad. It's like, can we just be fucking nice to each other? Like, god damn it, you know? So that's why I like this movie, because it's like, just be fucking nice, dude.
Yes.
And he even says it at one point where he's like, maybe that's the punk rock. And I genuinely fucking believe that. I'm so tired of like the Gen X, like cynical, jaded, like fuck everybody attitude. Like, I want nothing to do with that. It makes me sick to my fucking stomach. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. This is actually mean, but I'm fired up. But I hate people like that.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking hate people who are just so like, dude, fuck everybody. They're fucking idiots, and I don't fucking need them. Like, fucking shut up and grow up. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
God damn it, dude. You sound like a 12-year-old boy to me when you do that. Like, it's so 14-year-old boy on Call of Duty coded to me.
Not necessarily just the mean stuff. Everything you said there.
Yeah.
I love to hear it. And that's my favorite part of this movie. Is that that's something I've been shouting from the rooftops about Superman, that when people are like, well, Superman's boring, I'm like, no, he's actually kick-ass because he's very nice.
It's super cool. Being nice is cool.
That's Superman's biggest power.
Yeah.
It's not that he's super strong or super fast or it's an alien.
He's super nice.
It's that he has an emotionally available father. All right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And, you know, that's the kind of thing where it's like, yes, of course, objectively, in the world, there is evil. Nazis are bad. People who don't like trans people, that is bad. That's all fucked up. But at the same time, all I'm trying to say is that my method of just, what if there was positive, kind masculinity in the world? That's my fight. Everybody else can fight however they want, but my focus is on just being kind, okay?
Yes.
And so, like, I just don't think that that's lesser, is all I'm trying to say. I hate when people pummel down on me for being, like, lesser, because I'm not just like, dude, fuck you, Nazi, here comes my fucking foot to your asshole. That's not my vibe. I'm sorry, I'm not that guy. That's not who I am.
The way I feel about it is like, it's cool to watch Batman. It's cool to watch Die Hard or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's cool to see an action person beat the shit out of somebody else, because it's like letting a little bit of steam out of the valve. Like, it's just like, that's nice to see.
Yeah.
But I think in real day-to-day life, it's so fucking easy to be mean.
Yeah.
I think it takes a lot to be nice.
I would agree with you, yeah.
I think that's always way more respectable and way more cool to see than fucking...
And, you know, that's something, you know, that I don't know how often I toot your horn about it, but, you know, that's been one of the most fulfilling parts of our friendship is, you know, I met you at a time where... you know, you and your close circle, you know, you talk about it often. You're kind of into the whole, like, snarky, mean was funny, right? Mm-hmm. And you've just blossomed into such a caring and nice and kind person. It's beautiful. It's genuinely very beautiful.
I'm touched.
You're a really good person, Nick.
Likewise,
one of the best people I know for sure.
I'd be a mean guy without you. I appreciate it.
So, Nick Johnson, I love you.
Christopher Crumley, I love you as well.
Yeah.
You know, also love
Scooby Doo.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
So you watched this for the first time in a long time, I reckon.
Yes.
I did not rewatch it for the podcast just because I had seen it probably a week before I pitched it to you.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty fresh in the mind. But why I'm teeing you up for that is because I'm very curious, with it having been so long. What did you think of Zombie Island?
I didn't know. You told me last week that this was like the first time that the gang had been together in like 20 years.
Now, in the late 80s, there was a pup named Scooby Doo.
Yes.
So
how could you forget?
I love the pup named Scooby Doo. But as adults, this was kind of the first time, that they were like all together as adults. I can't remember exactly, but it was like 10, 15 years, something like that. Because, yes, as I mentioned before, a quick Scooby Doo lesson. They did Scooby Doo, Where Are You? Ran reruns for a while once it was off the air. Then they brought it back with the Scooby Doo show. They did like the Scooby Doo movies. And eventually, going into the 80s, they started getting kind of like, Velma, Daphne, Fred, boring. Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy, super interesting. So they did that for a long time. Mm-hmm. And sometimes Daphne would come back, but Velma and Fred were pretty much cut for a long time, and mostly Daphne. And then, so this movie comes along, and really quick, I feel like two things I want to mention off top is, one, kind of has the vibe of the live action James Gunn. Or not James Gunn. Is it James Gunn that did the Scooby-Doo movie?
He wrote it, but I don't know who directed it.
Yeah, but anyways, so the James Gunn live action Scooby-Doo, because it has like the getting the gang back together kind of a thing. And then the second thing is that it just has that like gritty 90s like thing to it. I don't know.
Yes.
But anyways, so go ahead. So I just want to give the history lesson of, yes, this is the gang getting back together as adults for the first time in quite a while.
That's my favorite part of this movie, is the way it looks and just the tone to it. It's a 90s animated feature film. It's like a goofy movie. You can't get better than that. No, I love it.
Perfect.
I've never really had like a big... Scooby-Doo has always been present in my life, and I've always liked Scooby-Doo, but I've never had like a huge nostalgia for him or anything like that.
One of I would like to share an embarrassing memory from a kid, because I fucking loved Scooby-Doo growing up. I can remember I had an older neighbor boy that was a friend of mine. His name was Austin, and he's probably just a couple years older than me, but it was like one of those things where like I was like maybe 8 or 9 and he was already like 12, 13-ish, And I remember one time, in all sincerity, saying to him like, dude, why don't you spend the night or whatever, then we can like watch Scooby-Doo and like fucking pretend to be scared and like, that kind of thing. And he was like, no. Like, I just remember him like so being like, no. Like him basically being like, that's gay. Like at that point he was into jerking off and listening to Korn. So like the idea of like just sitting like hanging out and watching Scooby-Doo was lame to him or whatever. But I just remember like being so embarrassed by like, of course he doesn't want to fucking pretend to be scared watching Scooby-Doo. What do I, you know what I'm saying? Like, why don't I even say it like that? Like, why don't I just say like, let's watch Scooby-Doo? Like, pretend to be scared is whatever.
That's a very fun story. I'm sorry that happened to you, but that's very fun. That's cute in retrospect. I like it.
Anyways.
I'm struggling, Chris. I don't think I got a lot to say about Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island other than what I have already. I think Velma sounds weird. I think your voice actress is strange. Not Matthew Lillard.
Like Zoink Scoob.
Shaggy is not a Shaggy for me.
Yeah.
I do like that this turns out to be actual monsters.
Yes, but generally I'd like to say that informed Yes. Forget what I was saying. I had something mixed around in my head. Continue.
But I feel like the beginning of this, where all of them are just like, oh man, it wasn't a real ghost. Oh man, it wasn't a real ghost. If anybody's gonna be not hoping it's a real ghost, it's these guys.
Yeah.
They know ghosts don't exist.
Yeah. And real quick, to tie it into the Superman discussion, I will say that there's the scene where Fred rips the fucking head off of that zombie.
I was gonna bring that up. He rips the head off a corpse. That is a super dark moment.
Crazy. But to begin with, one of the things that I'll mention is the thing I like about this live-action Scooby-Doo movie, because I'm not a fan of every live-action Scooby-Doo movie, but I like this one. This one is, again, pretty close to the original, in my opinion. I hold the original series to be very sacred. And I would say that this pays great respect to the source material in the sense that like it continues the tradition of being a Southern Gothic thing. It takes place on a bayou, swampy areas, creepy, it's supernatural. That's cool to me. I like that. going through the plot really quick, they decide to go their separate ways once they become sort of like disillusioned with how often the culprit is just a guy in a mask, which is an element of the original show that I fucking love.
Yes.
But they want so badly to find like a real haunting, and so Daphne and Fred end up continuing to do a show. They do like ghost adventures, basically. Except Daphne is constantly skeptical. She's not like trying to portray anything as being real. She's like Harry Houdini trying to like, you know, I guess in a sense they're almost like Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
Just not religious. Shaggy and Scooby are working TSA. I love that.
Love it.
Velma just has a little bookstore. And then eventually they decide to get together for Daphne's show to go to New Orleans to try to, you know, investigate a haunting, and they get invited to Moonscar Island by Lena Dupree. And again, I love Scooby Doo when it's a slice of Americana or Southern Americana. So just name like Lena Dupree and Moonscar Island. It just has like I like this. The island allegedly is haunted by the ghost of Morgan Moonscar, who showed up and they like basically killed everybody on the island or whatever. But then like spoilers, but Lena and her mom or whatever, her friend, whoever it is, they like make a sacrifice to the fucking cat gods to become cat monsters, and then they kill the pirates. There's the ferryman Jacques who takes them over, and then there's like the Crocodile Dundee guy with his boar friend. They're hanging out on a plantation, which again is just like classic Southern Gothic Scooby-Doo shit. And it's so weird that, you know, like that the Confederacy and like plantations, even into the 90s, are still such an integral part of the show, because some of the ghosts on there are not Union soldiers.
I was just saying, I was like, oh, that's...
There are Confederate soldier
I like
ghosts.
how it's like, pirates and stuff. And I was like, Confederate
pirates
ghosts?
and stuff. Yeah. Anyways, so Shaggy and Scooby encounter ghosts because they like fall into that hole, and zombies follow them and stuff. And and there's that one gardener who's like they're suspicious of, but it turns out at the end he's like an FBI agent.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That made me laugh out loud. He was like, and also I'm a cop.
Yeah, his name is Bo.
Yes.
Yeah. Believing it's a human culprit, Fred pulls the head off of that zombie, revealing that it's real. I think that's cool. But what I was trying to say earlier, and I got it mixed up in my head, and I'd like to reiterate now, is that, like, yes, it works for this film, and I think that the occasional real monster is interesting for Scooby-Doo. But generally, I am heavily, heavily biased towards it being a guy in a mask. As I mentioned before, I love the true crime grounded, like, element of that, and I love, like, the message of just like, there are not monsters out there other than, there's criminals out there, and like I love it's cool for variety, but generally I like when it's like a counterfeiter trying to scare people away from his counterfeit operation, whatever. It's just cool. I think it's cool because in my opinion it's more common for a show to be based on a real ghost than it is to be about a guy dressing up as ghosts.
Yes.
And I think that differentiates it from other media, is why I think that that's cool for Scooby-Doo. Anyways.
And it makes it like a
mystery.
Columbo.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're
Mystery Incorporated. They're trying to uncover a mystery.
Yeah, it's never like, because
they bust ghosts.
Because it's on a sacred land. It's like, no, this ghost was this guy because of land development or some shit like that. It's great.
Gang gets separated. Fred drops his video camera in quicksand, so there goes their evidence, because they did actually get genuine proof when Get Out gets scratched into the wall in front of them. Mm-hmm. They find the voodoo dolls. I just love voodoo doll shit. I mean, again, this is chock full of shit that when I was a kid I thought like was gonna be more. Again, it's the classic John Mulaney joke, but like I thought it'd be more present in my life, like voodoo dolls and quicksand. Like I just growing up, watching Child's Play, they got a voodoo doll. I just always thought voodoo dolls were, but there's a surprising lack of voodoo dolls in my life, is all I'm saying. They discover a secret passageway in the house, leads to Lena and her other cat friends, little secret voodoo area, Simone's area, where they do voodoo rituals. Simone explains that 200 years ago, the whole settler thing happened, chased into the bayou. They were eaten alive by alligators, but Lena and Simone, escaped. They killed the pirates. But it, later realized that invoking that power, like, put a curse on them. Every harvest moon, they have to lure victims to the island. Eventually, they disrupt the frickin' draining ceremony. They free themselves. And they all, they basically, the harvest moon passes without them taking any victims or whatever, so they all disintegrate to dust, and the zombies' souls are laid to rest. And then the Confederate soldier goes, "Thank you." Yeah. And that kind of wraps it up, or whatever. But that's the beats that happen. But are there any like moments or anything that stands out to you as you do your review or whatever? Anything that?
I just think this movie looks real good. I
Yeah.
like looking at all the monsters. It's something I like about the original show too. Is just the monsters are just the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean
Like-
the original show. Some episodes that really stand out to me is there's one where it's the ghost of Mr. Hyde.
Okay.
His design is not that crazy. That's something that people criticize the original designs for, is because so often it's just green guy. But this is him. He's like in a bucket hat.
Yeah. I know
Creepy.
him. Yeah.
And one of the things that I love is I remember seeing in a video analysis, the episode, the way they encounter him is that he was hiding in their mystery van underneath a blanket.
Ugh.
And they're all like hanging out and like talking about like, oh, it's cold, Scooby, get a blanket. And he goes to reach for the blanket or whatever, and then Mr. Hyde's head pops out. And in the analysis, they were talking about how like as a child that's so terrifying because the van is supposed to be safe.
Yeah.
That's where the gang's safe.
Yeah.
And a monster's in there, you know? And I love that. Super spooky. So the original show, another thing that I love is the ghost clown. This is an episode where this clown here, I'm not usually a fan of clowns as like being the villain, but I find his design to be scary, and also his power is he uses hypnosis to try to trick basically put the gang into like situations where they're in danger and they might die. Like literally just actually try to kill them, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Another design that I love is oh God, can I find it? The ghost of God, what's his name? Elias Kingston. This is another one that people often hate on, but I find him to be spooky faux show.
Yes, I remember him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember every single one of them. I'm always been partial to Charlie the Robot. Charlie the Robot's really cool.
People love Charlie, yeah. But anyways, all I'm trying to say is that, yes, a big draw for the show for sure is, like, especially the original show is the backdrops, the hand-painted, like, spooky, creepy, decrepit stuff. The monster design is, in my opinion, tasteful. It's not crazy over the top. They're just, it's very restrained.
Even with the zombos in this, they look, it's just really well drawn. I love it. Did you know Velma's last name is Dinkley?
I did, Velma Dinkley, yeah.
Mine didn't. This is very
Shaggy
surprising to me.
Rogers.
Also, you know what I just remembered?
Fred Thomas.
The cartoon, the original one, had a laugh track.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing that, in my opinion, I like that it differentiates it from the rest of the show, and it's something that changes the vibe forever once it's gone. Because that's the thing is, like, as a kid, the whole intent of that is that, like, for it to be funny and to have the laugh track is a perfect juxtaposition against the creepy backdrops and the creepy music and the creepy monsters, right?
Yeah.
So it's a balance thing, right? So I really like the laugh track in the original show, and I wish it would come back to some degree.
Absolutely. When was the last time a Scooby Doo show was on? Let me see.
Oh, you're in for a treat. It
Velma.
has never left TV, basically.
Really?
Yes. And same thing with their shows, or their movies. I mean, they constantly have movies out. They put out like 2 or 3, or like 1 to 2 or to 3 a year of the movies. Most recently, Scooby Doo, not necessarily most recently, but they had the Velma show, the adult show with Mindy Kaling or whatever.
Kaling, I believe. Everybody hated it.
Yes. One of the actually fan favorite recently from like the 2010s to 2020s, they had Mystery Incorporated, which people fucking love that show. They consider it to be like on par with something like Gravity Falls and stuff. You know how people like love those kinds of shows?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, people find it. And one of the big things is they made Velma gay, and people love that for the representation and stuff. They did Scooby Doo and Guess Who for a while, where they always had like a celebrity guest.
That's fun.
I think that happened in like 2020 or 2021 or something. They had Be Cool Scooby Doo, which came out in, it looks like, March of 2014. So yeah, back to back. They've been doing shows and movies for sure.
This guest stars list on Scooby Doo Guess Who is fucking insane. You got Jessica Biel, Morgan Freeman, Christian Slater, Jason Sudeikis, but then also Ricky Gervais and Jeff Dunham and Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
I gotta watch Macklemore. I gotta watch this show.
Yeah.
Axl Rose. Dude, hell yeah. Oh, wow.
In 2022, they did a movie called Trick or Treat Scooby Doo, which I think was done by the guy who, I want to say Trick or Treat Scooby Doo was done by the guy who did, Billy and Mandy.
Oh.
Fun fact. Let's see. They also had a movie come out in 2020 or something called Scoob. But yeah, so anyways, long story short, it is, from my understanding, by far the most successful Hanna-Barbera cartoon of all time, but also just cartoons in general. It is more evergreen and ever present than like almost any other cartoon IP. It's super, super profitable for Warner Brothers.
I'm sorry, I'm just blown away by this Guess Who show.
Oh, for sure. But all I'm trying to say is if that interests you, there's plenty of Scooby media to dig into. There's all kinds of shit. He's met Batman at least twice.
Do you know who Daphne's uncle is?
No.
Alfred Pennyworth.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it says here. That's insane to me.
Yeah, it's
I
very,
love that.
very interwoven with the Batman.
Yeah.
The Brave and the Bold, I think, had an episode or something where they cross again or something.
I was gonna say, while looking up this movie to watch it, I was like, we could have killed two birds with one stone. There's a Crypto and Scooby Doo movie that we should have watched instead.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, Zombie Island, spooky faux show. Just think it's paced well, fun. You know, them eating the freaking spicy food, yada yada yada, whatever. This, to me, I'm gonna give this a solid A. I love Zombie Island.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna give it an A as well.
It is part of like a trilogy or a 4 movie thing.
Mm-hmm.
With Witch's Ghost, which I also love, and has Tim Curry voicing the villain in it. Cyber Chase, and also Alien Invaders. And those 4 are, if you like this, you're gonna like the other 3 for sure. You're smiling right now. What's up?
I am, because
Scooby Doo meets Waves. No, I'm kidding. That's disrespectful, dude. I know you like other things other than Waves.
No, because it's like guest stars. Episode 1, Chris Paul. Episode 2, The Ghost of Abraham Lincoln. Episode 3, Wanda Sykes. Episode 4, Sherlock Holmes. 5, Ricky Gervais. 6, Wonder Woman. 7, Penn and Teller. 8, Steve Urkel. This is great. I love this.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. They met the Harlem Globetrotters a couple of times.
Oh, all the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I gotta get on this show.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to watch next episode, my friend?
I got 2 ideas.
Okay. It's almost Hellraiser time.
We were supposed to watch Eddington with Superman, and we didn't. I'd like to see Eddington. Also, I've been running into a lot of stuff that references back to... Have you ever seen Jacob's Ladder?
I have not.
Do you know what it's about?
I don't even want to know, but I want to go into it super blind. Do not correct me. I'm going to say this on the podcast, and then let's do Jacob's Ladder, please.
Okay.
I always assume it has something to do with the Holocaust, but don't say anything.
Okay.
Let's watch the movie, and then we'll see how that statement holds up come next episode.
Okay, sounds good.
So you're picking Jacob's Ladder.
I guess so.
Okay. And then I'm picking a film? That's what you're telling me?
Yes.
Saying that to me right now?
Lewis Black is in this movie. Sorry, go on.
Lewis Black?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you have 2 choices. 1, something I've been dying to rewatch, the 1990 live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ooh.
2, it's a mad world.
Refresh my memory on that one again?
I've just always heard like I think like the Red Letter Media guys and like the James Ralph from Cinemassacre guy, and like it's just generally like a cult funniest movie ever made kind of thing. I don't know much about it either. I'd put it in the category of Jacob's Ladder. I've heard people talk about it, but I really don't know much about it. I just know it's supposed to be one of the funniest movies ever made. That's all I know, period.
I want to watch Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Good with that?
Sure.
Okay, we can watch Mad World instead.
Another time.
You don't seem enthused about Ninja Turtles.
I love Ninja Turtles. As you know, I've said it on the podcast. I used to dress up as Jean-Ralphio. What's his name?
Jean-Ralphio, yeah.
Raphael,
the fifth brother.
Going to see Gremlins or whatever. No, Critters. You're going to see Critters. I used to dress up like that. We could, use that as the promotional photo if you'd like.
Absolutely. Listen, I just looked up Mad World. It's 3 hours long. That's what took me out of it immediately.
That's fine.
I guarantee Ninja Turtles is an hour 15 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, next episode is going to be Jacob's Ladder and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I believe that's that, Mattress Man. If you need more soup, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or go to our website, eatingsoupalone.com. And until next time,